Hi there Aquarius, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for September. Your connections to other people come very much under the astral spotlight this month. Jupiter has relocated into your 8th solar house, and along with the Sun, they're going to be arousing connections to Neptune, the planet of dreams. So when it does come to business discussions, or anything from choosing the right credit card to making a big ticket purchase, or even just managing your daily budget, you need to be aware that on one hand Jupiter and the Sun, especially on the back of the solar eclipse of the 13th, are encouraging you to be much more positive and go-getting, and yet on the other side of the heavens, Neptune can actually be quite mischief-making and cause a level of confusion. And because Neptune in particular is in opposition to Jupiter for pretty well the whole of September, I do feel it's going to be very important to keep your feet planted very much on the ground. But there is a lot of good stuff going on this month too, not least that your co-ruler Uranus is forging a scintillating connection to Mars in your sector of relating in the first 2 weeks, and the connection that you have with someone could really be very important. This could be one that could actually really change your life for a very long time to come. It may push you to do something that really takes you outside your comfort zone but can have thrilling consequences. Not least because Venus, also in your sector of relating, starts to go forwards from the 7th. And there is an opportunity to bring greater harmony to a close relationship that perhaps has paused, stumbled, or been on the back burner for a while. And all sorts of alliances can benefit from being diplomatic. Mercury is in your fellow air sign of Libra all this month, and that can give you a degree of curiosity and want to explore, especially in a mental way. So finding out facts and figures is aided by Mercury, but particularly in the first half of this month. In the second half of September, it does go into a retrograde, and with Neptune potentially causing that mischief, just be aware that when it comes to contracts or agreements, not everything is going to be as it seems to be, and your ability to drill through the detail and get down to what's really meaningful is going to be a real asset. So the armchair psychologist that's in you, that can try to work out what things really mean, can really be to your benefit. Now, Saturn, your other traditional co-ruler, moves back into Sagittarius on the 18th. Of course, it was there from just before Christmas to the middle of June, and now returns and will be here for the next 2 years. This can make you think very hard about what you want from your future, the type of friends that you're going to link with. And there can be some changes. Some of them will be obvious, and some of them will be more subtle. But it is asking you to think very carefully about the give and take in situations, and make sure that there is an equitable sense around the closest ties that support you. The Sun moves into Libra on the 23rd. Great if you're planning to travel, go on holiday, or just be a little bit more avant-garde or experimental. On the 23rd, the Sun moves into Libra too, joining up with Mercury, and in some ways can be supportive to Mercury's tracking back. The Sun here is about exploration, being much more risk-taking and adventurous, and it can be fantastic if you're planning a vacation, or you're looking to check out a higher education project, or just be generally much more adventurous in your approach. On the 25th, however, Mars moves, and that moves into the 8th solar house, joining up with Jupiter and where the Sun was. And this is a very exciting development. Although Mars in the last 10 days of this month does broadly square up with Saturn, I do think generally in the following 6 weeks, the desires that you have, however deep they are, however buried, they can be revealed during that period of time. And that can be especially so around intimacy or money. However, on the 28th, perhaps the standout moment of the month in terms of the publicity that's going to be working around, because we have a total lunar eclipse, but this occurs in the sign of Aries. Now, if you remember before, Uranus was forging that great link with Mars, And Uranus is in your third solar house in Aries. So that influence is quite active in your situation anyway this month. But eclipses work in pairs. So this pins in with the solar eclipse of the 13th. And it's basically saying to you, over the next 6 months, communications and how you absorb information is going to be very important in how you connect with other people. This may sound a very obvious thing to say, particularly to a communicator like you, but it's the ability to understand what people really mean and feel rather than necessarily what words they actually use. And so if you can sense this out and then use your communicational skills, you can make these two eclipses work brilliantly for you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.